Hi guys, it's Ian from Donk here and welcome back to another live match using our 40 card pre-release building battle decks. On the left hand side you have John, he's playing in the yellow sleeves and he is playing the Vivillon line, or Discount Butterfree as we like to call it, with Uxie and Mesprit. And on the right hand side you have me playing in the blue sleeves, and I'm playing the deck that my wife actually played on the second day of pre-release, and that is Magnezone with Lycanroc. So you can see here, I'm going first. I start out with the Magnemite, and the second Magnemite comes down onto the bench straight away. John starts with Scatterbug in the active and Mesprit on the bench. Now, Mesprit, really cool interaction with Uxie. If Uxie's on your bench, he does an extra 50 damage on his attack, so for 2 colourless energy, you can be doing up to 70. You can see that I drop a Lily. I'd like to have played out a little more of my hand before playing that to draw as many cards as possible, but I didn't have a choice, so the Lily comes down. There goes Furfrou and Croagunk hitting the bench, and now it's Timer Ball time, and hit one of the Timer Balls. So at this point, I'm looking through and I'm probably thinking to myself, I'm looking at either Magneton or Magnezone, and there it is, it's Magnezone comes down. Magneton probably sitting in hand, ready to get him set up as quickly as possible. So, as I said, Croagunk's hit the bench, so he is going to evolve into Toxicroak, obviously, and Toxicroak has pretty cool attack, whereby if a Psychic Pokemon has been knocked out, the attack does an extra 70 damage and it costs 2 colourless energy. Unfortunately, there's no Psychic Pokemon in this deck because we just didn't have any to put in it. So you see here John getting himself set up really quite nicely because he's just dropped a second Scatterbug, and you can see that there are 2 different Scatterbugs. The one he's just played onto the bench is 30 HP, but it has the ability where once during your turn before you attack, if it's your second turn, if you go second on the first turn, you can search for a Spupa and a Vivillon. So you can see him doing that right now. He's just taken 2 Spupa and 2 Vivillon off of that, and now the attack of the one in the active, which is 40 HP, is flip a coin, if heads, rare candy into Vivillon. So if John can attach grass here and flip a heads, he goes straight to a Vivillon in the active on his first turn. Or well, at the end of his first turn, heading into his second turn. And let's see, does he get it? And of course he gets it. And he told me as we were playing that that's the first time that whole day that it actually worked, that he's managed to pull it off. And of course it comes against me, and of course it comes in the game that we're recording. But there you go. And that's a really cool interaction. I don't know many cards that have a kind of built-in rare candy effect. I haven't really seen this before, and it's a pity that Vivillon isn't a little bit stronger in terms of a more competitive play, but it's still a really cool attack, and it was awesome that John managed to pull that off and we caught it in camera. So on my side of the board you can see the Magneton comes down to the Magnemite on the bench. I had attached to the Magnemite in the active last turn, probably thinking I'm going to look for the retreat into the Furfrou, maybe draw some cards, maybe try and put some damage on with something like Toxicroak, which has just come down here. You can see he has that Poison Jab attack for a single fighting energy, 30, and your opponent's active Pokemon's poisoned. This is the reprinted version of the one that came out, I want to say in Burning Shadows, but I'm probably wrong about that. And that was the Psychic version of this card, so it's the exact same, but it's got a type shift, which is something Pokemon have done quite a lot recently. So you can see there that the fighting energy comes down onto the Magneton in the bench, and I know I've got Magnezone in hand obviously because we got that off of the Timer Ball last turn, so I'm trying to set myself up, get ready to take the big knockout on Vivillon. He's got 130 HP, so I can knock him out straight away, and he's weak to electric as well, which is pretty useful if you needed to attack with the Magneton, for example. Vivid Powder there, so it does 50, asleep and poison, so Magnemite obviously only with 60 HP, and that means that he takes a knockout in between turns obviously because of poison damage. John also during his turn there evolved 2 Scatterbugs into the Spupas, the ones that he got off the ability, and he benched a Pheromosa and attached a Psychic Energy, and you can see me here putting 3 Electric Energy onto the Magnezone, putting a Fighting Energy onto the Toxicroak, Looker to draw the bottom 3 cards of my deck, and here we go. Let's see if we can actually get something going here. We can definitely take the knockout in Vivillon this turn. The problem is that Zap Cannon attack from Magnezone can't be used 2 turns in a row. So we're going to give John a free hit on the Magnezone unless we can set something else up. One of the other things that was playing into my mind here was the fact that Vivillon actually has resistance to fighting, because he's counted as a flying type. Spupa and Scatterbug are both counted as grass types seemingly, and they're weak to fire, but when they get to Vivillon the weakness changes to electric and the resistance comes fighting. So there you go, Zap Cannon takes a big knockout in Vivillon. John promotes a Spupa into the Vivillon straight away, and same for the one on the bench. No surprise he used that ability on his first turn of the game. On my side of the board at the end of the turn there, I dropped a 70 HP Rockruff. Get yourself 70 HP Rockruffs. Lycanroc GX is a great card, and 70 HP Rockruff is going to be the one you want to play. Think about how many times a Buzzwole, for example, has reached 60 damage and knocked out your Rockruff in turn 1. No more of that, because you've got 70 HP and they need to find that extra 10 damage from somewhere. John playing Sophocles here, so discard 2, draw 4. You can see a little bit of his hand there. He's got Uxie, he's got a Psychic Energy. They come down together, attached to the Uxie, and it looks like he's going to pass, maybe? Is he going to pass? He's attached to the Uxie, so he can't attach to the Vivillon, but of course he's not worried about that, because Zap Cannon, as I said, can't be used 2 turns running. So he knows that Vivillon isn't getting knocked out by the Magnezone, and there's nothing really on my bench that I can do too much damage with. So the Lycanroc obviously comes down on my side of the board. The Rockruff evolves up into Lycanroc. He has Dangerous Rogue, not Dangerous Rogue GX unfortunately. So he does 20 plus 20 more for each benched Pokemon your opponent has. So use that Magnetic Circuit ability, attach onto the Lycanroc, and having a quick check of the discard pile, seeing what my options are here. And there comes Judge. So putting us both down to 4 cards, digging here probably for some energy, trying to find a way to get Magnezone out of the active and do some kind of damage potentially. Very, very aware of course that Toxicroak is weak to Psychic and Lycanroc is weak to Grass. So John is hitting 2 of my main Pokemon in this deck for weakness, which is obviously a really tough spot to be in off the bat. But we're going to see what we can get here, and if we can actually get something going and make something happen this turn to at least get some kind of damage in that Vivillon. So second Rockruff comes down. Obviously the 70 HP ones I said that's come out in this set. Really, really good card. Here comes, looks like a Timer Ball, yep. And I hit both off the Timer Ball. So I imagine here I'd be looking for probably a second Lycanroc and a Toxicroak, because they're the only things in my bench that I could possibly evolve. So why wouldn't I take those ones? It's pretty straightforward that you would grab them, and indeed those are the 2 that I've taken. So trying to set up my attackers here, trying to get something going so that if John can take a knockout on one of my Pokemon, I can respond with something. So let's have a wee look here. Obviously having a think over my options. I know I can't attack with the Magnezone, and at this point I'm thinking, is it better to retreat the Magnezone? Should I leave it in the active and let it take a hit? If that happens, it's going to be poisoned and asleep, so I'm running the risk here that he doesn't wake up and he's stranded in there. And these are the kind of tough decisions that Vivillon makes you go for, and that's why he's one of the good cards that we had in this pre-release, because status conditions, something that we know, status conditions maybe aren't as big a thing in the game these days. If you think about something like Paralysis, that's maybe the more popular one. Confusion was popular for a while with Espeon, but Guzma, Acerola, you've got ways around these things. In this format you don't. Status conditions, this time at least, played a big role in pre-release. So you can see that I did retreat the Magnezone. Up comes the Furfrou, hit for 20 damage off a return, and dropped the 5 cards in hand. And John's bench state here is so set up, it's looking great for him. He's even got a how to draw 3 cards. He's got 2 Vivillons, he's got Uxie, Mesprit, Pheromosa with that Psychic Energy attached earlier on, and now he's benched an Inky as well. So obviously Malamar going to be coming down soon. He can accelerate from the discard pile as well. So he paralysed, poisoned and put me to sleep, but I roll the heads. Furfrou wakes up, so that means I can attack, I can retreat. And at this point I'm thinking to myself, right, I can knock out the Vivillon. If I can get rid of that, I'm going to give myself a fighting chance here, because he needs to find grass on the other one, and then I can hopefully try and deal with that one as well. So in my head I'm thinking, okay, I can go here with Magnezone and go up and take the knockout and see where we can go from there. Magnezone 150 HP, pretty strong Pokemon, and there up he comes. Right, Furfrou back to the bench, only 30 HP left though while leaving the active. Down comes Fighting Energy and Electric Energy, takes the big knockout on the Vivillon again. Magnezone putting in some work in this matchup, puts me down to 2 prizes, John sitting still at 3. and he promotes the third Pavilion of the game. We're setting up stage 2s here, guys. We're setting up stage 2s in pre-release, where we don't have rare candy, we don't have access to things like Evo Soda or Ultra Ball to really help us get that consistency, and John has managed to set up 3. That's how good that first attack and those abilities on those scatterbugs is early on. You can see there that the grass energy came down in Pavilion, so John's obviously going to get attack off this turn. 50 damage goes to 60 because of poison, and then we're going to have to flip to see if Magnezone wakes up, and he does, so that means that we can retreat Magnezone if we feel we need to, which is probably the right play because we do want to put some damage onto that Pavilion here. Although Magnezone can one-shot it, every time I retreat him, it's costing 2 energy. There's nothing like Super Rod or Energy Recycler or anything like that in this deck. Obviously pre-release, you're limited to the number of trainers you can use and what trainers you have access to, and at that point I have to just leave Magnezone in the active because I can't bring up anything and do any significant damage. As I said before, John has weakness on my Toxicroak, so if I'd brought that up and attacked, it's an easy knockout for Mesprit, or he could put up Uxie and do some serious damage there. Lycanroc, easy damage there. And then down comes another 50 damage, 60 really because of poison between turns. So Magnezone here has 20 HP left, he's taken 130. Roll, let's see if he wakes up. And of course he doesn't. Right? Sometimes luck just isn't with you. So he doesn't wake up, he's stranded in the active. No Acerola, no Guzma, no Switch, nothing here. And I just have to pass the turn. And John knows that Magnezone's going down, which obviously limits the energy acceleration I have to 1 per turn as normal. There comes a Mysterious Treasure, discarding an Inky. Having a quick look through the deck there. Misses it. The Malamar's also come down, so he can accelerate from the discard pile as well. So John's looking in really quite a strong spot here, even though I'm at the minute ahead in prizes. I'm not going to be for long. And you can see me cutting the deck there, and it's looking pretty thin. I'm not going to lie, part of me is thinking here, could I maybe deck him out? Is there a way that I can stall? And in all honesty, I possibly could have done that were it not for the weakness. That is the really big issue. John making a little shooting motion there as the Magnezone gets blown up and put to the discard pile, and he goes to 2 prizes too. So up comes the Lycanroc, and what are we thinking here? We need a fighting energy obviously to be able to attack with the Lycanroc. The Dangerous Rogue here is obviously the only attack that we can use. John has 4 benched Pokemon, so Dangerous Rogue is going to do 80 damage. I think I might have said earlier on that it's 20 plus. It's actually 20 times, so that was my mistake. Sorry, I was right, it is 20 plus. It does 80 damage because of resistance. I'm talking nonsense. I knew it was 20 plus. I shouldn't have doubted myself. So 20 plus, which would have been 100 under normal circumstances, but obviously he has that resistance as we spoke about earlier, because Discount Butterfree's technically a flying type rather, when he evolves up. So he's got the attach on the Mesprit. He hits 100 damage on my Lycanroc, poisons and puts it to sleep. So that damage goes immediately to 110 because of poison between turns. If the Lycanroc doesn't wake up here, it's going to knock itself out between turns. And he does not wake up, and that's it. He does not wake up, so that Lycanroc is going down between once I end my next turn. Attach on the Toxicroak, there it goes, it's down. John attaching there to Pheromosa last turn as well, putting that Grass Energy on Pheromosa, accelerating onto Mesprit, there it comes, easy retreat, up comes Mother Lycanroc, and he can White Ray GX, he can White Ray for game. So, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that match, hopefully you've enjoyed the content we're bringing to you over the past few weeks. Please do get in touch. Please get in touch in the comments, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Subscribe to the channel, look out for more of these kind of videos, and I'll speak to you next time. Thank you, goodbye.